Ritchie Valens, known as the king of Latin rock and roll, was a rising star in the music industry during the late 1950s. With hits such as La Bamba and Donna, he quickly gained a large following and was poised for a long and successful career. However, his life was tragically cut short at the age of just 17 in a plane crash that also took the lives of Buddy Holly and J.P. Richardson, also known as the Big Bopper. Richard Stephen Valenzuela was born on May 14, 1941, in the San Fernando Valley suburb of Pacoima, California. His parents, Joseph Steve and Reyes Valenzuela, were working at a munitions plant when he was born. They introduced him to a love of Latin music at an early age, with his father playing the guitar and Valens playing along on a ukulele. When Valens was 3 years old, his parents separated, and he spent the next several years living with his father. Despite being a struggling farm worker, his father had many talents, including being a musician and a horse trainer. Valens was fascinated by his father's musical abilities and later expanded his musical repertoire to include the guitar, trumpet, harmonica, and drums. Tragically, Valens' father passed away in 1951 due to diabetes-related complications. After his father's death, Valens' mother moved back into the family home with her new husband and her other children, including Richard's older half-brother Robert Morales, younger half-sisters Connie and Irma Ramirez, and a younger half-brother Mario Ramirez. Valens' stepfather worked as an agricultural worker and his mother worked as a waitress and housekeeper, but money was tight in their household. Ritchie Valens faced many challenges in his adolescent years, living with various relatives and attending several schools throughout the Los Angeles area. When he was separated from his mother, the family was forced to move into a small house in Pacoima in the San Fernando Valley. Despite their struggles to keep up with the mortgage payments, Valens never lost his love for music. As a student of Pacoima Junior High and later at San Fernando Valley High School, Valens often brought his guitar to school to play and sing during lunch hour and after class. He gained a reputation throughout the region for his guitar work while playing with the Nine-Piece Silhouettes from October 1957. The group played small club dates and school concerts, but it was a performance at the Pacoima Legion Hall on May 2, 1958 that led to Valens' big break. There are different versions of how Valens was discovered. One version states that Valens and his mother rented the Legion Hall for a Silhouettes concert to raise enough money to pay off their mortgage. A friend of a record company executive happened to attend the show and suggested that his friend audition Valens. Another version of the story is that Valens' mother skipped a mortgage payment to rent the hall and have the concert recorded as a demo to get the attention of a record company. Once Bob Keane, the founder of Delphi Records, heard the tape of Ritchie Valens' performance, he knew he had to see the talented teenager in person. In May of 1958, Valens performed at the Legion Hall, which led to an offer to record some tracks for Delphi Records in June of 1958. Valens recorded Come On, Let's Go, a track he composed, which was released the same month and peaked at number 42 on Billboard's Hot 100 in September. At Keane's suggestion, the singer changed his professional name to Valens from his given surname Valenzuela. Although Come On, Let's Go was not quite a top 40 hit, it sold over 225 copies and earned Valens his first appearance on American Bandstand on October 6, 1958. As Valens' popularity increased, he became in demand for concert appearances across the country and decided to drop out of San Fernando Valley High School. Valens' next release was a double-sided single, Donna and La Bamba. He wrote Donna, a ballad about his high school girlfriend, which immediately became a hit. The song earned a Gold Record Award and spent 2 weeks at number 2 on the Hot 100 in January of 1959. Donna remains an early rock classic as a teenager-in-love ballad. Once Donna became a hit, Valens followed it up with the release of a double-sided single featuring La Bamba, a traditional Mexican tune. Valens had adapted the lyrics from a huapango, a traditional form of Mexican music that used boastful exchanges between singers. In Valens' rock and roll version, the lyrics portrayed a drunken sailor boasting that he could dance the La Bamba better than anyone else. La Bamba climbed to the top 30 on the pop charts in February of 1959, becoming one of the few foreign-language pop hits at the time. The success of La Bamba was unusual for Valens, given that he spoke only rudimentary Spanish and had to learn the lyrics from his mother's relatives. Although he was aware of his Mexican heritage, Valens only knew a couple of words in Spanish growing up with his father, a native of California. Nonetheless, La Bamba became a classic hit of its own, and Valens soon found himself performing on the Alan Freed Christmas Jubilee of Stars in December of 1958. Valens's meteoric rise continued with an appearance in the rock and roll movie Go Johnny Go, where he performed the song Oh My Head. Alan Freed, impressed by Valens's talent, invited him to join the Winter Dance Party tour of the Midwest in January and February of 1959, along with Buddy Holly and the Crickets, the Big Bopper, and Dion and the Belmonts. The Winter Dance Party tour marked Valens's first national tour and cemented his status as a rising star in the world of rock and roll. Symbolizing his success, Valens put a $1,000 down payment on a house for his family in Pacoima, the same area where he had grown up and first discovered his passion for music. With 3 hit songs in less than 6 months, Valens had already achieved more than many musicians could hope for in a lifetime. But his career was only just beginning, and the world was eagerly waiting to see what he would do next. It was January of 1959, and Ritchie Valens was about to embark on the Winter Dance Party tour. Before leaving, he entered the Gold Star studio for a final recording session. His first album, Ritchie Valens, was set to release the following month. On January 23rd, the tour kicked off in Milwaukee. Valens, along with Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and others, played a series of dates around the upper Midwest. The tour made its way to Clear Lake, Iowa, on the night of February 2nd, where they played to a crowd of about 1,200 fans at the Surf Ballroom. Hoping to get some rest, headliner Buddy Holly decided to charter a plane to get to the tour's next gig in Minnesota. Valens and fellow performer J.P. Richardson, also known as the Big Bopper, joined him for the flight. The plane was piloted by 21-year-old Roger Peterson, who was disoriented by poor visibility in the darkness. Almost immediately after takeoff, the plane crashed, killing all aboard. The sudden loss of 3 popular performers stunned music fans. The death of Valens, who was only 17 years old, was particularly poignant. His double-sided hit, Donna La Bamba, was still riding high on the charts at the time of his death. In the year after the tragedy, 2 more albums, Ritchie and Ritchie Valens in Concert at Pacoima Junior High, were released. Despite the tragedy, compilations of Valens's work have remained in print continuously. In 1972, Don McLean's song American Pie hit #1 and were called The Day the Music Died. Valens's music lived on, performed by groups ranging from the Ramones to Led Zeppelin. A remake of La Bamba by Los Lobos returned to the pop charts as a #1 single in 1987. The song was also included on the soundtrack to the film of the same name, which introduced Ritchie Valens to a new generation of music fans as the first Latino rock and roll star. In 2001, Valens was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum by singer Ricky Martin for his contribution to popular music. Rest in peace, Ritchie Valens, and goodbye, legend.